to. And especially thanks to the so many of you who sent your positive comments following the announcement. We really appreciate it, and it really makes all the extra effort that we've put in over the last few days very much worthwhile. So thanks for that. It's nice to know. It's nice to know that we're appreciated and to get the feedback from yourselves. There's a few things I want to go through. Okay, sorry about that. I think there's a bit of a Wi-Fi break. So just very quickly, the reason why we've had to make these changes is due to the weather and what's been coming out of the sky. So just thinking ahead, ready for Sunday, the latest forecast is for some light rain with sunny spells, a light breeze and 12 to 13 degrees. To be honest, you can't really expect much better running conditions. 12 to 13 degrees is pretty much perfect. And if you get a little bit of a shower while you're out running, some light rain, it's not going to be a problem. It will certainly, if anything, help cool you down a bit. But having said that, if we're expecting light rain for Sunday, what we've actually had is, over the last few days is anything but that. And as a result of what's been coming out of the clouds, the original start and finish in the race course is actually now looking rather soggy. So as a result of that, what we actually had made the decision late on Tuesday that it wasn't going to be possible for us to build the start and finish on the centre course at the race course. So we pulled out our contingency plans and spoke to our friends at Chester Race Course and Cheshire West and Chester Council, who have worked with us really amazingly well and responded very quickly, so that by Wednesday lunchtime we actually had all the approvals in place for the revised start and finish locations. There's some really good news within that as well, because with the weather having been so wet, it would have been a little bit boggy and wet running on the grass at the race course towards the end. So with the revised start and finish, we can guarantee you absolutely no grass. It's all hard surfaces, and should really prevent you getting foot rot anyway. So that's where we are. So the start is now going to be on Nuns Road, which is actually just at the very edge of the race course. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking over pretty much the entire main stands at the race course for our race village, help desk, the post-race massage, baggage storage, and the retail stalls, the awareness stalls. There's some fun activities for the children, and there's some catering there as well. So everything's going to be as you expected, just slightly different location. And the bonus, one of the bonuses is, as it's actually potentially there's going to be a little bit of showers before the race, there's actually all the stands at the race course that people can sit under as well. So there's plenty of undercover spaces. So just looking through your questions that we've had over the last few days, a lot of it has been about parking, because we normally have about 1,000, 1,500 cars on the centre course. Because of the weather, that's actually out of bounds, and we can't actually use that. However, there are plenty of car parking spaces within Chester in the official car parks, and in some ways it will actually make travelling in a little bit easier, because absolutely every car isn't heading to the race course. Hopefully you'll be heading to the different car parks as you come in to the city on the different roads. So if anything, it could make the congestion slightly less. So in terms of timings, the actual city centre road closures for the race don't start until just after 8 o'clock. So one of the things we always advise is to arrive early. As we said before, the help desk is open. There's a lot of indoor space as well as undercover space outside. So there's no need to worry about getting soaking wet beforehand if there is a little bit of rain. So come along, spend some time here, go to the help desk. There will be plenty of portaloos and what have you, both on the race course and up on Nuns Road, which is where the start is. And one thing we do beg of you, particularly us guys who are normally prime culprits for things like this, we will be running and starting outside people's houses. So although the main toilets will actually be down in front of the stands at the race course, there will actually be some on Nuns Road, and there'll be some urinals up on Nuns Roads. So we beg you, please, please use those toilets, use those urinals, and don't get us into trouble and upset our residents by peeing against their walls or in the driveways. So thanks very much in advance for your cooperation on that. People who know Chester are asking about certain of the car parks, and certainly a couple of the nearest ones are the Castle car park and the Little Rudee car parks. They will be open as normal, provided you approach from the Wrexham Road end, so on the main HQ Grosvenor Bridge direction, so they'll be absolutely fine. Some of the other questions we've been asked: will Club Corner still be at the finish? The finish is actually going to be on Castle Drive, which is a beautiful location by the walls, just by the river, and overlooked by Chester Castle and some of the university buildings. It's trees, it's really very, very pretty location. And if you've run with us in the past, you will actually run along Castle Drive to get to the finish. So you'll be finishing slightly earlier, and to make up that, you'll actually be running a slightly different route towards the end through Chester's Victorian Grosvenor Park. It's a very beautiful park, and we'll be making up the distance within the Victoria Park before dropping down towards the river on the Groves and then running along the Groves as you used to towards the finish. So certainly the spectacle and everything you expect, the support, it will be as good as ever. So don't worry about anything like that. There are absolutely no compromises in this race. And those of you used to us and know of our passion for detail and organisation, the same level of detail and organisation has actually gone into the planning for weekend. So talking about changes in route, one of the other questions is, will the drink stations still be the same, and will the mile markers still be the same? Well, my partner in crime, Andy, who helps organise this, did a sterling work, and we've actually managed to come up with a route where the changes to the start and finish affect absolutely none of the mile markers, because they're immediately by the start, and we're doing a little bit around the Grosvenor Park within the last mile. So all the mile markers along the route will be accurate. But also talking about the route, we've also been tying in with our official course measurer, so be assured that the route is officially certified and it's not an unofficial route, so no problems with that. Triple medal. Some people are saying that because of the rain, will it affect the triple medal? The triple medal collection point is slightly different. It was going to be just after the finish, but what we're asking you now to collect your triple medal. Here's one I made earlier, so hopefully you'll enjoy those of you picking those up at the end. That will actually be at the help desk, because when you go back to the main stands area at Chester Racecourse, which is about 300 metres from the finish, it's a short walk, to collect your baggage, to go for your post-race massage. You'll also be able to go to the help desk to collect your Chester triple medal. Just excuse me 1 second while I flick through my notes. In terms of the car parking, there is actually a link in the email that we sent out to you. It's on the website, and it's also on the social media post to pick up the website for all the car parks around Chester. And again, if you do park remotely within Chester and then have a walk to the racecourse, the actual postcode for the racecourse to tap into your sat nav on your phone or your Google Maps on your phone to actually get to the racecourse itself is CH1 2LY. One of the other things we've been asked is about dropping off. If with parking being a bit more tight, where's the best place to be dropped off? And what we're recommending is drop off right next to the racecourse outside the Abode Hotel, which is very, very close. It's within 50-100 metres of the start, and the postcode for the Abode Hotel is CH1 2DJ. Club Corner, we've had a few questions about Club Corner. One of the great focal points and support points for our race has been Club Corner over the last few years, where you get people with their gazebos, barbecues, copious amounts of alcohol and massive amounts of support. Unfortunately, Castle Drive isn't as wide, so, and certainly we don't have the anchor points for gazebos and what have you, but what we do ask the clubs to do is certainly bring your supporters along, get to the finish early, grab yourselves a best point, bring a few deck chairs, bring along your coolers with all your drinks and what have you for afterwards, and certainly be there and make all the noise and all the support. One thing we probably won't have space for is barbecues, because there will be pedestrians walking past. Okay, so moving on a little bit, just talking about, we've had a couple of questions. Not worried about the rain, not worried about the start and finish, but with Brexit, have the shirts arrived, have the medals arrived? Yep, they've all arrived. They were loaded onto our vans today and they're all in place at the finish ready for you. So thinking about where you're up to in terms of your training, most of you will hopefully have done your last short run, 2 to 3 miles at a very easy pace, and you'll be really starting to feel the benefits of the taper. And it's really important now over the next couple of days, as the race nerves start to build, sort of think of that as excitement as well, but try and keep off your feet a little bit. Doesn't mean to say sit down with your feet up all day long, do small amounts, but certainly if you're arriving in Chester tomorrow night, don't spend the whole day walking around Chester Zoo on Saturday or visiting and going all around the city on Saturday either. It's really have a gentle wander, and by all means come down and see us at the help desk, pick up your hoodie if you've pre-ordered one. If you want to pick one up, they're there, and they'll be there at the help desk at the Chester Racecourse on Saturday. We'll be open between 2 and 6 p.m. and that's also when we get a lot of people coming round to pick up their shirts and numbers for the fun run. And certainly anybody who entered after the 8th of September, you'll be also coming along to the race course to pick up your number and get ready to go. So for those who entered after the 8th of September, you'll be coming along to the race course between 2 and 6 p.m. on Saturday, but also you've got the chance of coming down on race day morning if you're driving into Chester on the day. So we're really sad to hear that Leicester Marathon was actually cancelled today, and we feel really sorry, and our hearts go out to those who were hoping to run that, and certainly to the organisers. We've been very fortunate that we've been able to put our plans in place here, but for those of you missing out, we feel really sad. However, we have noticed a spike in entries this evening, and we've had a few messages from disappointed Leicester runners who are actually still able to run and entering with us. So if any of you are watching this, then please, you're very welcome, and we look forward to seeing you on the finish on Sunday. Right, where are we up to? Talking about the fun run, the mini marathon is still going ahead, and that again will not be on grass. It will be entirely on tarmac within the safe and restricted confines of the race course. It'll be slightly shorter than a mile this time, which for some of you I know will probably be a bit of a relief, but certainly we will be there, and we're looking forward to giving you your shirts and numbers to run in, and we will be there with your medals and treat bags at the finish. And the fun run will be going ahead at around about 10:30. Another question we've had is, will there be parking at the race course if the weather improves? I think there's been that much rain, and the actual race course have already confirmed that there will be no parking at the race course. So please make sure you look at the maps in advance, decide where you're going to go, have a contingency car park in mind if the race course is full, if the car park you chose originally is full when you get there. Okay, I think that's it in terms of the changes. I'm just looking up to Amanda and Elaine at the other side of the camera. Have we had any more questions that have come online?
Best pub for rehydrating.
Best pub? Oh wow. There are loads of pubs in Chester, and certainly go in there, wave your medal at them and ask if there's any special discounts or rewards or freebies for having finished the race. So we've got many amazing pubs and bars in Chester. Real ales, wine bars, whiskey joints, gin bars, we've got the lot. So while you've all been really temperate over the last few days, Sunday afternoon is when you can rehydrate with some water immediately post-race and then crack on with the alcohol that you've been denying yourselves for a while. Okay, anything else? No? That's pretty much it. So really, from us, it's again, Andy, myself and all the team, it's a massive thank you to you for placing your trust in us. We're thrilled to be organising this race for you. We're really looking forward to Sunday. And myself, my greatest moment of the year is actually being on the finish line, congratulating you all as you finish. And thrilled to be able to do that again this year. I'm really looking forward to doing that. So, those of you with race nerves, please remember, relax, treat it as excitement. In terms of if you've never run a marathon before, again, think of it as a gentle half marathon, take it at a relatively easy pace, and then from 13 miles onwards, halfway point onwards, just take it as 1 mile at a time. And if and when it starts to get tough and you're feeling, oh my God, I'm never going to finish this, this is really, really hard, just again, break it down a little bit further, take it as 1 lamp post to the next tree, I'm just going to hang on. And by all means, if you want a little walk break every now and then take that, there is no shame. I think it is estimated that certainly in the London Marathon, upwards of 60% of the finishers will take a walk break or two at some stage in the race. So it's one thing to help yourself. Don't feel you have to walk every pace. Just mix up run walking if it gets tough. But also just remember when it does get tough, that time will pass. And just break the run down and just picture yourself finishing and having that incredible achievement. And I know for many of you of what will be finishing your first, I nearly said and only, so hopefully first of many marathons, and hopefully again coming back to run with us. So again, it's good night from me, and Dave's not here tonight, so good night from him. So thanks very much everyone, enjoy the next couple of days, and we're really looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. Thank you.